Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the very juicy and controversial topic as to whether or not Joe Bonamassa is the most hated man in blues. Stick around because this is a juicy one. Certainly no secret that Joe Bonamassa is probably the biggest blues guitarist nowadays. He's just everywhere. Now he's completely and utterly achieved all of his dreams, I reckon, from when he was a young kid. You can go back and see the young Joe Bonamassa playing with B.B. King and all of these crazy guys. He's a blues man through and through, and his notoriety just keeps getting bigger and bigger each year. It's definitely fair to say that he's one of the biggest blues guitarists on the scene in the last 10 years. I mean, he's completely blown up and everyone pretty much knows his name in this industry. But a bit like the John Mayer effect, you can't really get to the top nowadays without having some level of controversy around your name. And I'm not saying Joe Bonamassa's done anything intentionally controversial or polarizing, but the very nature of him being who he is causes polarization, especially in the comment sections. So you can go on any video of Joe Bonamassa's and just look at the comments. There's a crowd of people that love him, and then there's large swaths of people that really don't like him. Now that leads us very nicely to the first point as to why Bonamassa is probably the most hated guy in blues. And point number one is his expensive guitar collection. Now we are very lucky to have some very nice gear ourselves at Pedal Porn, and the similar thing happens sometimes when we post, extravagant gear. A lot of people don't tend to like seeing that, the green-eyed monster messaging comes out. But there's always someone with more gear than you, unless you're Joe Bonamassa, because he has the most gear than out of anyone. But yeah, it's really interesting to see people in the comments talk about this very topic with Bonamassa, because people say that he's flaunting his success and his wealth. Other people say that he's completely losing track of his roots as a blues guy. And you always see the comments saying like, Robert Johnson didn't have a 59 Les Paul worth millions of pounds or whatever. It's just like, you can go back and see Joe Bonamassa playing to hardly anyone in small clubs, and he's completely built this empire by himself. Well, obviously with his team, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If he wants to buy his own guitars with his own money that he's built from music. But to be honest, I can't really think of a better guy to be, the custodian of all of this magical gear, because he genuinely loves and cherishes each of these pieces of gear. Like, you can just tell the way he talks about them. He genuinely loves this stuff and understands that it's a point in time in which he owns this, and he is simply the custodian of it until it moves on to another home one day. Now, the second point is Joe has achieved immeasurable commercial success. And I've seen countless people say in the comments about how Joe and his commercial success is directly correlated to his departure from the essence of the blues. Is it harder to sing about the blues if you've got a lot of money and nice houses and expensive guitars? One valid counter argument to that is the fact that with the attention that Joe Bonamassa has brought to the whole, the eyeballs that he's brought to the blues industry and blues music, he certainly turned a lot more eyeballs onto these artists that no one would have talked about if Joe hadn't got to the top. So I always think that about John Mayer and Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's funny how John Mayer has gone on to be objectively more successful than Stevie Ray Vaughan in terms of commercial success. But, John Mayer would every day, all day, every day, give credit to Stevie as one of his biggest influences. But again, objectively, John Mayer would be more successful than Stevie, and sometimes certain guys just work out a way to build an audience better than other people. I think it's as simple as that sometimes. So can we really fault someone like Bonamassa reaching mainstream success while staying true to their roots at the heart of it? Because again, you can tell Joe's done his homework, and always credits to the influences that got him there. Let us know what you think in the comments to this stuff, because it really is fascinating to hear your opinions. And as always, try and keep it respectful, because it can get a bit heated, but we'd love to know what you think in the comments below. As a bit of a homage to Bonamassa, we are now going to try and play a Bonamassa track. Going to be using a Les Paul and the deluxe reverb. We're also going to kick on our BluesPrint pedal to try and get some of those more crunchier, overdriven tones. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in a bit, and cheers.